Hello folks, I wanted to take a little time to introduce something very special to you. It's called the Harp guitar. I began working on this project early 2010 and we completed it in May 2011. Basically what this instrument is a guitar. The body size is very close to a Martin Triple O. The unusual thing, the very special thing about it, if you didn't already notice, is this arm at the top. And it includes extra bass strings. Now the harp guitar is not really a new instrument. This instrument was popular around the beginning of the 20th century for a decade or so, and the interest waned during the war years, and of course with rock and roll, Elvis and the Beatles, that pretty much put an end to everything in the music business if it wasn't associated with electric guitars and rock. With the internet now, it's become more popular. People are becoming more aware of this beautiful instrument, and I decided to create my own line of instruments. J. Buckey. I mean, if Paris Hilton can have her perfume, I could certainly have my harp guitars. We released this. I actually began the project in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we released this first instrument where it was constructed. The finished product was in Lviv, Ukraine. That's about 40 miles east of the Polish border. When this instrument was finished, they were all so taken by the beauty of it, they wouldn't ship it to me. They said I had to come back and pick it up. They wanted to hear it. Of course, I hadn't really played it at all. I just played it in my mind. So we went back and worked up a few little tunes. It made headlines in western Ukraine, and we were on the morning TV program, their version of Good Morning America in Ukraine, and that's what that video presentation linked to this video is all about. However, during that video I only had the guitar about 5 hours or 6 hours to play, and a friend of mine who sang Alla Nemenska, I just did some basic chords. Now that I've had it for a few days or so, I've worked up some arrangements on this. And I wanted to illustrate the beauty of this and exactly what's going on with this guitar, why it's so special, and why I'm including it in my lineup of arrangements and musical instruments. We've been doing the banjo, the guitar, fiddle, mandolin, dobro, and the bass. We're adding the harp guitar. This is very, very special. Now you could play bluegrass on this guitar. Cripple Creek or Old Joe Clark. But where this really excels is fingerstyle picking, and I've been wanting to get back into fingerstyle. That's my favorite form of music. I've always enjoyed it immensely, and I wanted to illustrate why fingerstyle on the harp guitar is superior to any other guitar that you'll ever find on this planet. In fact, in my opinion, the harp guitar is the most beautiful, most relaxing instrument that I have ever played. If this is what angels play, I'm ready to go. And there was a book I once saw. It says 500 things you must do before you die. They should add this to the list. Number 1, you want to play a harp guitar before you die. Okay, what I'd like to do though is illustrate exactly what is going on with this guitar and why it's so special, and play a couple tunes for you. A little closer examination of the harp guitar. The bottom 6 strings are just like a regular guitar. The first string is E, B, G, D, A, and E. And if you already play guitar, you know your basic chords like G and C, D. Everything is the same on this bottom part. What's different now are these basses. They can be tuned to a variety of tunings. I think the original harp guitars, the early 20th century, used a chromatic tuning. However, I'm using something popularized by a very, very fine harp guitarist named Stephen Bennett. They call this the Bennett tuning, and I like it a lot, and I'm using it. It's the bottom string is a low G. And the next one is A, B, then C, D, and then another G. So I have an octave G. Now this is 2 G's below middle C on the piano, for you piano players. First of all, what happens with the harp guitar is that we have an extended bass range. So when I'm playing a D chord, let's say, for example, on the guitar, my lowest D note is going to be the 4th string. And some guitar players will wrap their thumb around there to get an F sharp. And that's about it for a D chord. But now, on the harp guitar, I can reach up to the 2nd bass string here and get a really rich sounding D. You hear that? Same way with the G. I can do a regular G and grab that beautiful low bass G. I hope you have good speakers on your computer, especially a woofer, so you can hear this, the richness of this guitar. So here's the D, and then G. A7, B7, C chord. So you see I have a nice bottom end to all of my chords. Now, because of this principle, there's a couple things that can happen. Instead of playing the melody on the top 3 strings, I could play the melody on the lower strings of the standard 6-string guitar because I have these nice bass strings behind me. The other thing I can do is I can simplify chords. To a beginning guitarist, this is actually easier to play than regular guitar. Instead of playing a full G chord, for example, I could do a simple 1st finger G and get my bass down here. To a more advanced guitarist, I'm able now to fly. It's like actually having wings. I can move anywhere up and down the fingerboard and not worry about complex chord fingerings, bar chords and that with the left hand because these bass strings pull out that melody for me, or the bottom line, excuse me. Let me illustrate just how this works, and you can hear the difference between regular guitar and harp guitar. I'm going to play a song called The Water is Wide, regular guitar style. I'm going to stick with just these regular 6 strings, and if this is what I was going to be playing on regular guitar, this is about all I could do. Now I'm going to add the bass strings. Isn't that beautiful? Another thing I've noticed when working with the harp guitar, when you play a chord, it automatically, or even a note, doesn't have to be a chord, just a note, it automatically excites the bass strings, and they act as a sympathetic string. What that means is that when you play a note, just a regular, let's say, I'm going to pick an open E string here. If you lightly touch the string at the 12th fret, you get a harmonic. Banjo pickers and dobro players call it a chime. And basically, the string is vibrating kind of like an oval, and then when you hit that 12th fret, it divides the string in half. The vibration makes more of a sine wave. It's an octave higher. We can also get the same harmonic at the 7th fret, and the 5th fret, and the 4th fret, and it goes higher. There's 13 of these harmonics. They're actually called by physics, by the physicist, as a partial. There's 13 of these partials. And if your string is clean and new, there's no dirt and grime and dirt on that, you'll notice a new string, when you put a new set of strings on your guitar, really sounds good. It's because you're hearing all of the partials. When the strings start to get old and tarnished and dirty, some of those partials don't ring, and it gives you kind of a dead sound. Now, what's interesting on the harp guitar, let's say I play a G chord. It excites the partials on the bass strings. Listen to this. I'm going to play a G chord and then cut it off abruptly, and you will hear those partials ringing. Listen to this. Can you hear that? The partials of the G chord are being excited on the bass strings. Here's a D chord. Here's a C chord. And G. It acts like a natural reverb on the harp guitar. Here's another song that's real pretty. I think you can see some of the beautiful possibilities with this instrument. I'm going to finish up this session with a little Amazing Grace and the harp guitar.